Welcome back to the Boneyard Podcast, everybody. This is your host, Jared Sheffield, along with my good friend,
Artemis Brower.
We're coming to you this week with episode 251. 251. Artemis.
Yes, sir.
How are we doing, my friend?
We are good. We are good. Thriving.
We are 10 days away from one of the most important days of our lives. Nothing happens 12 days from now, or 13 days from now. But 10?
Not too much going on 13 days from now. Just a small little event.
10 days? Yeah. Artemis?
The world will stop in 10 days.
I may be on top of the world, or I may be crying in my sorrows, but 10 days away from East Carolina football being back. I'm already in game mentality. I'm ready. We did media day this weekend. That's kind of like the last thing. Camp's over. We got an opponent. We're not talking about, we're playing each other. We're just playing offense versus defense. No, we have an opponent. Our opponent has a name. They have a face.
Live football.
And we play them in 10 days. By the way, we hate those guys. Artie, episode 251 of the Boneyard Podcast. Before we get into it, if you're watching at home or listening this week, you may notice something different on the screen. Shout out Josh, who's completely revamped our graphics here.
Yes.
They were much needed. So shout out to Josh. But you're probably seeing a name, Roback, on the screen. We're going to talk to you about Roback real quickly. They just launched their ECU line of apparel, part of their game day traditions line. This stuff is sick. It's sick. I'm waiting for it to come in. I got my Roback on. That's why I'm wearing this. That's why I'm wearing it.
Yeah.
Got a tie to it because, my dog's name is Ficklin. He's a golden retriever. It's called the Golden. Go to Roback.com. Get you 20% off on your first order. Use Boneyard 20. They're going to be our sponsor throughout this season and hopefully ongoing after that. I love Roback. I get so many compliments on this shirt. Look, I've worn this shirt, already seen me wear this shirt in public before we even started talking or thinking about working with Roback. I love this stuff. If you're a golfer, if you're just looking for a nice styled pullover, it's about to get fall. It's about to be fall, Artie. Need a little pullover, something that you can wear on a walk or even wear to church if you need to.
Yeah.
Hook yourself up. Roback.com, 20% off. Boneyard 20. That's the promo code. Boneyard 20. Support the podcast. Support Roback. Artie, number 251. Do you have a 51 for me?
I'm going to be honest with you. I was thinking hard. I was trying to find a 51. I've already named all the dudes that are worthy of 51. I've already named Sam Mills. I know that. I've already done Butkus, obviously. I think I've done Butkus twice. I feel like you did Ichiro Suzuki one of these years. So, honestly, no, I don't have a 51. I don't know. I don't know who I can name at 51.
The only thing I know I've done Ichiro. You could talk about Randy Johnson. You could talk about there's a 51 that I'm thinking of. I'm seeing a guy in the number 51, but I can't think of his name. I could I believe a former pitcher, not named Randy Johnson. I don't know.
51 just feels like such a workman's number.
Josh,
I'm
gonna look this up, and I'm just gonna say this. Did Rick Ankill wear number 51?
Rick and Q. What team?
Well, he played on a lot of teams. He played on the A's, the Cards, the Braves. Played on the Mets, I believe. I think he also spent time in Philly.
He did
Ricky
play
and
on
Kill.
the Mets.
He did not wear number 51. He wore a lot of numbers. A lot of numbers. 66, 49, 24, 28, 43, 24, 28, and 16, but didn't wear 51. For some reason, I was thinking he wore 51.
Wow.
I will come in and save you all with a 51, and I will just shout out the general statement of the number 51 in NASCAR. It is a very unsung number. Only 2 wins in its entire history, both coming from Gober Sosby. Way back.
That's not a real name. That's just not a real name.
Right now, it's driven by
what?
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. Right now, it's driven by Cody Ware, who many believe should not be driving in NASCAR. Justin Allgaier, 75 races, only one top 10. I mean, it's a very unsung number, but here we are, number 51. That's the only 51 I can ever think of.
So what is it about 51 in racing that would make it that? Like, is this not one of those popular numbers? It's not a good number. It's not like a.
Yeah, it's just not. Cody Ware. See, back into there we go. There we go. The 51 Cody Ware.
Real quick. This is the number one in the collection. This is the first one.
Good stuff.
Yeah. It says it somewhere.
You said people don't want him to be in NASCAR anymore, right?
He had an alleged incident last year, which was charged, went through all the stuff, but his dad owns the team. And as long as his dad owns the team, he's going to be driving a car. And for a lot of people, it's like he doesn't drive well enough to deserve the car, but also the car's not good enough to even be in the race. So it's like should someone else be driving this horrible car, or should it's a really weird situation. Yeah, I'll just put it that way.
You said everything you needed to say when you said his dad owned the team. So yeah.
Oh, there we go, Jared.
1 of 529.
Wow.
Right here.
Good stuff.
I've got some interesting collectibles. I got that one. I've got a Golf Digest signed by none other than Harold Varner III.
Really?
I just need to get framed. I've got my ECU Carolina panoramic photo of the 70-41 game.
Yeah, I've got. Now that's one I've got to get. I've got to get that one framed. I gotta put that up in the office.
Oh, it goes with me everywhere. Hell, I even have a tissue box.
Yeah.
An ECU tissue box. And then some expensive piece of paper back there.
Yeah. Can you, speaking of, I know we're all talking, can you find yourself in that still frame of the 70s?
Yeah.
Because I can find myself in that still frame.
It's I know the general vicinity of where I was sitting.
Yeah.
And I could probably get, if I zoom in, obviously I can't zoom in on a photo that's 4 feet wide, 3.5 feet wide. But I know exactly. I was sitting in the Boneyard. If you're looking at the Boneyard, maybe slightly left of the field goal, probably 20 rows up. So I know where I was sitting. I mean, I'll never forget that day.
Absolutely.
When you said Cody Ware, I was like, wait, that Cody Ware? So
yes, that Cody Ware.
There we go. That's my 51. The good old East Carolina University car.
Only in this case will I say that is the 51.
That's the 51.
Let's go. Yeah.
Good shit. Good shit. All right. Well, let's get into it. We're not gonna do a long podcast. I'm on dad duty. If I get called off by my kid, who hopefully is, if you're a parent, you know, hopefully she stays asleep. I'm watching her on the monitor as we speak, but let's get into it. It may be a short episode. Who knows? We may talk about stupid shit. Who knows? Let's get into it. Josh, you and I, we went to media day on Saturday. These things are always. I enjoy getting to them because it gives you an opportunity to talk and not just talk X's and O's, and a lot of people do talk about like, oh, what are you looking forward to, yada yada yada, like, and you're gonna get a bunch of canned responses. My favorite thing to do is ask some kind of off the wall questions and get to know these guys personally. And Josh was even laughing during some of the interviews, like as I was talking to these guys. That was my favorite part. Being able to, I mean, talking about Coach Maddox's mustache, his Fu Manchu, absolutely electric mustache going on.
Is it
with the offensive line coach? They're gonna write books about Coach Maddox's mustache.
If I didn't know any better, I would have thought he was biker gang material.
I'm thinking like mid-90s D-level wrestler.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
I mean, Randy Johnson comparison. Yeah. I mean, honestly, if you think about me, it's a good one.
Or your rural firefighter.
Okay, yeah, I see that too. I can picture that in my head.
You know, a six. How tall is he? 6'6", 6'7"?
He's tall.
He's tall. He's a big guy. Rivals Zach Kitley from Florida Atlantic, but has a little more meat on his bones. I mean, asking players about that, asking other coaches about that. Heck, talking to Damon Magazoo, Coach Magazoo, safeties coach, about his mustache. You know, he's had that. He's looked like a damn caveman for 10 years, and he shaved his down to a mustache for camp. So, just talking through that, right, and talking about who has the best style. I told Josh before we got on here, my favorite conversation we had the whole time was with transfer quarterback Mike Wright. He and I just talking cowboy boots.
That's awesome.
Just talking about cowboy boots. He had some lizard skin boots on from his time in Starkville, Mississippi. And then he was trying to give me some food recommendations. I'm going to Tupelo soon, and he was trying to give me some food recommendations for when I visit Mississippi. So, Josh, any takeaways that you had from media day?
My biggest takeaway is that if ECU ever had a players coach, we got one now. I'll put it that way. If we've ever had a coach that understands player well-being, that understands player motivation, that understands all of that, we got that right now. And that is what I'm most excited for. Just there were so many different little nuggets dropped when we didn't ask questions specifically about Coach Harrell that related back to the culture that he has built so far. It is phenomenal. It feels like it feels like the setup to a magical season. And even if it isn't a magical season, just hold on. Just hold on, guys. Just hold on, because the only good can come from this kind of a culture.
And that's something that when Mike Houston was fired back in October, that was something that like started to come out. Like, I don't know that it really ever made it all the way out in the media or whatnot, but talking to some of the athletes, they were very siloed. in how they operated as a team. Offense stuck to offense, defense stuck to defense. Nobody really hung out. Nobody really like talked to each other. They weren't friends. They didn't see each other as brothers. I mean, they would say they were, but like they didn't. That's what every football player says. I have had athletes, unlike provoked, just tell me, yeah, we don't like when we eat dinner, no phones. They take our phones. They take their phones and make them sit with different people every single night. Every single night. And that builds culture. That builds camaraderie. These guys are balled in. Like, we may not on paper have the best skill. I said that weird. The best skill. That Davidson County came out for a second. We may not have the most skill, but this team has a shit ton of heart. Like a ton of heart. And those guys are ready to fight for every single one of those dudes in the locker room. That's it. That's what I got, Josh.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that there's any comparison since I've been watching ECU football to what this could possibly be in terms of the culture of the team. It really was. It really, I don't know. It was almost like a service academy type, where like the service academy has that kind of feel of like a true brotherhood. Like that's how it kind of felt, without there being the structure of necessarily the service academy atmosphere. Like it's.
I can't real quick, Artie, to that point. I can't remember who I asked, but one of the questions was, I was asking about personal goals a lot. Like, yeah, and they all gave the canned answer of, I want to win a conference championship. I get it, and I would try to push back on that and be like, what do you want? Like, is there a goal that you have in mind as far as sacks or yards or whatever? And I can't remember. Was it Xavier McIver maybe who said, I don't care if I don't play a single snap as long as we win a conference championship, as long as we excel, I'm good. And this is a guy that's transferring into ECU, back into ECU, and in his final year of eligibility. I believe that's who it was.
Yeah.
That struck me when you have a guy in his final year of eligibility saying, if I don't play a single snap, if we win a conference championship, I'm good.
Yeah.
Artie, what were you going to say?
No, I was just going to ask, I mean, was it from what you guys were seeing, was it just a few players, individual key leaders stepping up, or was this like from the starting quarterback to the second string punter? This is a complete and total buy-in from every single person you looked at, saw, felt, vibes, all of that.
Every single player, and this is not even to be like a we pick and chose who we spoke to. Every single player, every single interview, it was the exact same. It was, I love this team. I've never felt better about playing football. I've never had more fun. I've never, like, it was as if you took these 22, 18, or 19 to 22-year-olds basically, and gave them a whole new experience for what football could be.
And not only the players, but even talking to the coaches.
Yeah, I'm about to say the coaches too.
I mean,
coaches too.
Last year when we talked to Coach Baker, I thought, man, this guy does not want to be here, doesn't want to talk to us. And then this year, like, I felt like he would have given us as much time as we wanted.
That's because I know exactly what you're talking about too, because I remember the vibes. So.
No, like it definitely felt like we could have probably had him for about 45 minutes.
Wow.
And he would have kept going, just even kill, just kept answering the questions.
Sipping his Mountain Dew.
Yeah. 0.
Yeah, Mountain Dew Zero. That's a important clarification.
Need the caffeine, not the sugar.
But no, like every single guy had the same kind of mentality. And I mean, we can get into the JD Lampley and Preston Carr and Brock Spalding thing here in a minute, but like to have two of those guys there and then them still talk about it, which having two of those guys there was absolutely wild and should have told the media everything that we needed to know. I even asked the question before we knew that they were going to be there.
Yeah, they weren't there. They weren't there yet.
Yeah, like the coaching staff wasn't ready to tell us that they were back, but like when you have two of the three guys that like were in trouble at media day, we should have known. That's an L to me because I didn't put that 2 and 2 together. It was in my mind, but I didn't really think much of it. And I mean, I saw a clip put out his superlatives for media day, and I know we talked about superlatives at one point for the coaches in the American Conference. I must say, JD Lampley has one of the strongest handshakes I've ever shooken ever. Like that man, it felt like shaking a baseball glove.
You know, the handshakes are always very like, because you shake a lot of hands with dudes that it's kind of like, okay, this is just a normal regular handshake. You don't want to be too firm, you don't want to be too soft, right? And a lot of handshakes are a little too soft, but then you get that one it's like, oh, okay, I gotta like really like all right.
And it wasn't even too firm. It was just like I could tell, like this man is a linebacker, this guy's a hard-nosed athlete.
He's just got some palms on him. He just got some bare hands on him.
Coach Aldridge had a nice, firm handshake. JD Lampley had
that was a grown man handshake.
You're going to know that I'm stronger than you, based on the amount of pressure I'm putting in.
Your hand is gonna be like, yeah, no, I can take you. Just know I can take you.
And his hands are so fucking big, dude. They're massive. Like I don't have big hands, but like I guess normal size hand. His hand swallowed my hand whole.
Yeah, I typically consider myself to have a big hand, but his is large.
I don't know, man. I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. The interesting thing, we talk about tempo and we talk about speed on this offense. I asked Mike Wright, who many would consider being one of the faster guys on the team, hey, who would win in who's the fastest guy on this team? And he started listing stats. He was like, I can hit 23 miles an hour. He's like, Anthony Smith can hit 23 miles an hour.
Did they actually?
Yeah, they have stats to back this up.
He said, these things like,
And
then he's like, even Desirio Riles, the tight end, can hit 22.8.
When he said that, I was blown away. I didn't want to check him in the moment, but I was like, "There's no way."
But like Mike Wright also is one of those dudes that seems like he knows his shit.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy's a leader.
I mean, if we got our tight ends out here hitting basically 23 miles per hour. God almighty.
But as Coach Harold said, though, Desirio was running down the field when Rajay scored. So, like, I mean, he was outpacing the running back. Like, and I also like that. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about it. That the running backs never came up when it came to straight line speed.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, honestly, I need a running back to be able to bounce off of somebody too. Right. So like I get if you don't have to, I get if you're not the fastest.
They just need to be shifty.
Shifty, bob and weave, jump cut, get in and out them holes the way you need to. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I thought it was great. I thought it was great. Before we move on from Media Day, though, there was a part of. Can we talk about Blake Harrell's press conference? And I love Blake Harrell. Y'all know I am a Blake Harrell day one fan.
This was at the beginning of the presser too. That's the funny thing about it.
He pretty much opened the presser talking about lobster. And Josh and I kind of looked at each other. We were sitting in the front row. And Josh and I kind of looked at each other like, where is this going? And he talked, maybe 4 or 5 minutes about a lobster and building pressure. I don't know. I could just see him like watching these videos intently about learning about how a lobster grows.
Right, because he was talking about growth, and he was trying to tie in the growth of a lobster to the growth of the team. And I'm like, I don't know where coach is going with this, but you know what? Every coach has their one little tangent where you're like, I don't know what coach is doing with this, but hey,
it's still better than Trent Dilfer wringing out the water.
Just keep wringing that water.
Still better. Blake Harrell for president.
I wanted lobster though. After he talked about it, I will say that.
I almost asked like, what are we lobster dog guys, or are we just like straight lobster and butter? What's did the guys at least get to eat like lobster after their second scrimmage? Was like usually it's like the losing team eats beanie weenies and the winning team gets steak.
Nice, steaks and
did the winning team at least get lobster this time? I don't know. Those are the questions we should be asking.
Too many shellfish allergies.
Not to be shellfish, but I could eat some lobster. All right. Anything else, Josh, that we didn't talk about on Media Day?
No, I think we're good.
Yeah. I'm excited to get down. I never thought I would say this, but I'm excited to get down to Mississippi and maybe pick me out some more boots and eat some food now after talking to Mike Wright. I could talk to that guy forever. Could talk to him forever. All right. It came out today, and we kind of. I'm gonna get to the rule changes here in a minute, Josh, but want to talk about the JD Lampley, Brock Spalding, Preston Carr situation. They've all been fully reinstated. They're all available to play. The charges have been dropped. Artie, talk to me about this. Where are we?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of those things. Look, a lot of programs do this. A lot of programs kind of, sweep some things under the rug, and again, charges were dropped. So it leads me to believe that it's not maybe as serious, but even still, I don't know. I still think, got to kind of have a little bit of a precedent. There's got to kind of be a little bit of some ground rules. Some, hey, like, we gotta, put a little bit of punishment here. I don't think they necessarily should have been at media day. I think they still should have been kind of off limits with that a little bit. Still kind of, getting back into the fold. But it's not like this is like something that doesn't happen.
It happens everywhere.
It happens everywhere. Worse things have happened elsewhere, and it's been kind of just swept in the rug. Not condoning anything. And these guys definitely do have to grow up. And I think that, this is probably something they're going to look back on with what you guys just mentioned with the buy-in, with the culture. I think this is something once we get to the season, it's going to be an afterthought. We're not going to think about it. I think these guys are really going to be fine. They're going to be leaders. They're going to step up. They're going to do what they have to do. I just think a little bit, more of an ease back into the fold.
If I'm being completely honest, I had a feeling the entire time that they weren't going to miss NC State. You're not going to have them out.
No,
JD Lampley.
Think any of them guys were missing state
out against NC State.
No.
No, and I agree with you, Artie. And going back to like when this story originally came out, the same thing that I said then people make mistakes, especially college students make mistakes.
We're talking 18 to 22-year-old young men.
They make stupid decisions. Well, maybe it's not the punishment some people would want them to have. They were punished. And I'm sure their conditioning is much tougher at times.
It should have been.
This
should
camp.
be severe. To the
And it
point
should
of
be.
growing up quite a bit.
But to that point, this, like you said, this happens everywhere. You look at Clemson, right? Dabo Sweeney, basically a preacher out there.
Mm-hmm.
His starting tight end gets a DUI like last weekend.
Look at Georgia. All the speeding and DUIs and Georgia just keeps on keeping on. So
Kirby Smart should make sure that nobody has a driver's license. But then again, those are probably the guys that he wants because they're going to break the law anyways when they get to Georgia. When they get to Athens, it doesn't matter if you have a license or not. We're not driving safely in Athens. I mean, it happens everywhere. You go back to Jameis Winston stealing crab legs?
Crab legs, yeah.
Like you can there are so many cases, and it happens at the highest level, at the lowest level.
There's got to be accountability and there's got to be punishment, but then there has to be understanding. We're talking about 18 to 20-year-old young men that are going to make mistakes. You can't look at these teenagers going into young adults acting as if they're not going to make mistakes, acting as if they're not going to do things they wish they could take back. It's just about accountability. It's about learning from that mistake and growing. As long as we're doing that, we're good.
And I'm going to come off like a real dick when I say this. There are people in this world that get more benefits than others.
That's just
you're a college athlete. Like if you're talking about the charges are dropped or whatnot, why are they being dropped? These are college athletes that are getting paid, that help bring in a lot of money to the university, that really, I mean, funds the entire town of Greenville all year long, right? Like Greenville is not, I love Greenville, but without East Carolina University, Greenville isn't what Greenville is.
It's just another blip on the map.
Exactly. And so by saying that, local politics does play a part at times. And people may turn a blind eye to some things. Not saying it's the right thing to do. I'm not saying that that's what happened in this case, but it's going to happen. You look back to the glory days of the Ruffin McNeil era. People were getting arrested left and right.
Yeah. There was some stuff going on with Ruff. Ruff was letting some stuff go.
But we look back on those days and remember them because guess what? We were a damn good football team.
Pretty successful. It was pretty good.
So if this team can pull out 9-10 wins, I don't care. As long as you didn't murder somebody or do something so stupid that you put your or other people's lives in danger, I'm good.
Don't be out here doing anything criminal. Nothing. Petty crime, major crime. Don't be out here doing anything because you are still a representation of the school and the team. But
UNC Chapel Hill is still seen as a elite scholarly institution.
Very prestige class.
They were sliding shit under the rug at the institution level for decades. Nobody cares. They still have that. Georgia, we talk about Georgia. We still look at them as, hey, they're a top 5 team in college football and have been on an absolute tear the last 5 years. 5-10 years. You talk about Michigan. Look at Michigan. Yeah, people are going to talk shit. They still have a national championship. They didn't strip it.
Not being taken away. It ain't going nowhere. They hit us in the pockets.
Shit happens.
Good, they hit us in the pockets. Good.
They got the money. They got that as pocket change.
Yeah, no, Michigan honestly looked at it. I was like, you know what? Yeah, we'll take that. That's cool. That's fine.
But like this shit happens. And if you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you. Athletics writes a lot of the checks around the university. It brings a lot of revenue in for the university. They're going to be taken care of. Sorry. It just happens.
And last thing I'll say, you brought up a good point, because if this was just a normal student, if this was you and me back in 2013, 2014, them charges ain't getting dropped. Probably we're just gonna have to just face the fan. Shit hit the fan. We just got to face whatever we're facing. But we're not bringing any money to the university. We're not bringing any money to the local community, the local economy. Like, there is a pecking order to these things. There are things that are in place, and that's just what it is. Life is not fair. It's never going to be fair. That's just what it is. So these student athletes are going to get certain privileges, certain perks that regular student body, campus is not going to get. So
and I know a lot of the old heads are going to hate us saying that, but at the same time, we've always said it, like that's not how we roll. Like we're going to talk to you like it is. That's just how it is. I don't know. Josh, anything you have to add? Anything you wanted to say? If not, we can move along to the rule changes, and I might lean on you to lead this discussion.
All right, let's hit the rule changes. Let's see here. What do we got? Faking injuries.
Thank God.
Faking injuries. Are we really happy with this, though, guys? Are we really happy with this? Because to me, like, I get the intention. A player comes up with an injury after the ball is spotted. Their team will be charged with the timeout. And if they have no timeouts, a delay of game penalty. But that player also has to sit out for at least one down, right? Even if the team is granted a timeout.
Mm-hmm.
But my thing is, guys, just let the defense have their little trick of slowing the offense down. It never hurt anybody.
Josh, we are a podcast that covers one of the more up-tempo offenses in the conference, if not college football.
If ECU was going in to score, we're talking about last-minute drive. There's 20 seconds left. We are in a fucking groove. And then, dude, oh, my hamstring. Oh, God. Oh, crap. No, bro. And then like if you're gonna sell it. But nobody's a good actor. We're talking about college football players. It's so egregiously bad. Like you're faking an injury.
I think the most important piece of it is it's basically you declare yourself injured, right? So if you come up and you're hurt and you're 20 yards behind where the ball is about to be spotted and you drop like right before they snap the ball, that's what this is for, right? Or if you're standing around with your hands on your hips and gasping for air, and you try to feign an injury or act like you're coming off this, and then you see it every single game. Coaches are yelling at guys to get down, just fall, get down. Like that's what this gets rid of. If you are actually hurt, and a lot of the I just talked shit about the old heads, but a lot of the old heads used to probably remember the conversation. There's a difference between being hurt and being injured. I know I got that conversation. Artie, I'm sure you probably got that. Josh, you probably got that conversation. There's a difference. If you're hurt, that's one thing. If you're injured, that's another. I think by the end of it, we're going to see a bunch of these penalties, probably weeks 1 through 4. And I think by week 5, like we're not going to see many more of these.
To be honest with you, I don't even think that we're going to see that many of these penalties, simply because players are just going to be more aware. Defense players will just be more aware, and just if they get on the ground, say for instance they get pancaked and there's a massive play down the field, they're just not going to get up, because if you never get up, then they can't say that you.
Well, and that's the point.
So
that's the point.
And honestly, but that to me, it's like, hey, if there's time for the ball to be spotted and a player to then recognize and get down, the offense obviously isn't moving fast enough anyway. So to me, it's like I get what you're saying. You want the offense to be able to run fast, but like, if there's that much time for the player to be able to recognize that situation, is offense really cooking?
I don't know, man. I'm just saying.
I just don't like the idea of just, I'm going to sit here just to give us a little bit of an advantage, because either we're getting cooked or we don't have any timeouts, or you know what? I just need a breather. I'm not actually hurt or injured. I need
to get off the side. I need to get to the sideline and switch out, but they're going up tempo and they're not changing personnel. So I can't get out. So I'm going down. That's the crux of it all, right? That's when it happens. These guys are, these 300-pound D linemen are gasping for air after running, 30 yards downfield. And they're like, okay, I need to get off the field. And then they start running to the sideline. The other guy's already on. So if they snap that ball, it's already a penalty. So they go down trying to get a free timeout. Makes sense.
Yeah. So speaking of that substitution situation, we got defenses cannot have more than 11 players on the field when the ball is snapped. That's always been a rule, right?
Yep.
So now it's going to be treated as a live ball foul, as a 5-yard penalty. In other words, no more stopping the play before it happens. Let the play run, 5-yard penalty.
Free play, basically.
But if it occurs after the 2-minute timeout in either half, then the officials will penalize the defense, but the offense will have the option to reset the game clock back to the time that was displayed at the snap.
And then it starts again on the snap. It
starts on the snap. So if it was a running clock, you basically get a free timeout.
Right.
How do we feel about this one, man?
It's going to be interesting seeing some defenses get stuck out there. And the other thing, and I don't know if it's part of this rule or part of a different rule, but like declaring quicker who you are subbing in and out for. Mm-hmm. They're trying to make these substitutions almost in between plays, but almost like hockey-like, where quick in out, like you look up, you see somebody coming on the field. Okay, they're coming for me. I know they're coming for me. I'm off the field. And none of this like, hey, like running up to a guy and being like, hey, I'm taking you out, and he kind of jogs off the field. They're trying to help make sure that the offenses aren't being like toyed with too much because of defensive antics. So
I love the idea of the free play aspect, just like being on sides for defense, right? Just because it's a defensive mistake. Right, and so the offense can still just be in the flow of that play, and there's no penalty for the offense if it's an interception, fumble, whatever happens. There's no penalty for the offense. So I like the idea of the free play. The running clock thing doesn't really bother me either, to be completely honest with you, because again, it's a defensive mistake. So the fact that the play clock stops, and they actually get to set, and then it starts on the actual snap, I don't mind that either.
And so we've got 2 more for today. We'll save the rest for next week. The T signal on kicks, the Brett Bielema / Shane Beamer rule. The next 2 are both, I'm going to tie them both to SEC programs. Basically, any waving signal by any player on the return team is considered an invalid signal. The T, which used to be saying, I'm not going to return the ball, typically by the receiving team, is now going to be an official signal that says this play is no longer valid and that the ball will not be progressed forward by the receiving team. I'm not sure how I feel about this one because that means to me, it means like the second line on the return team can't get into like not a chain link formation, but like they can't get their spacing using their arms. Like they have to really see and feel it without that reference that some teams did use. So I'm both ways. I'm both ways on it.
Yeah. I mean, this symbol has been for when your guys are running downfield and you throw up that T symbol. It's to tell them, hey, I'm not going to return it. Don't show off anything that in the return coverage or whatnot. Don't show anything. Just run straight downfield, and we're going to come off the field. I get it. I understand like why, because somebody could throw out a T and then everybody stops. The kicking team stops, and then somebody catches it. Kind of like the fake, like you're faking them out where the ball's going. Everybody runs to one spot, and then somebody else catches it. I don't think it really impacts anything. We've talked about special teams and kickoffs and whatnot enough over the last couple of weeks. If you're fielding it within the 25-yard line, to me, just take the fair catch and don't run the risk of losing that yardage.
Right. I would agree with that completely. I don't know how much of an impact it's really going to have, but I agree with that last statement you just said. Like if you're fielding it within that 25, just because at that point you're not really gonna make up. We don't see big returns.
I get maybe if you're fielding it at like the 18, 20.
Right. But if you're pressed against the goal line,
yeah, like no need to bring it back out from. Don't do what I do in NCAA and bring it out from 6
5 yards within the goal in the end zone. 5 yards deep in the end zone. We're bringing this out every time.
Yeah.
High school football in North Carolina, it's a rule that if it hits the end zone, there is no return. Basically.
Yeah.
Now I want the option.
You want the option, okay?
I
get it. I get it.
If it hits the end zone, just bring it to 25. Because I mean, in most times you only bring it out to the 18, 19, 20. Yeah, if it's the end zone, just bring it to 25.
I don't know if you're playing me in NCAA, you're only bringing it out to about the 10-yard line. I'm dropping your ass.
All right. For this last new rule, I'm going to let Kirby Smart tee us up.
So, well, how do you get more there for a loss? We had to run this at a little bit higher rate, have good blitzers. And then the last one, I think this is the fifth one, and we said, you know what, warhead speed, whatever you call, you're going to go super fast. We want to take the front and be in a 3-down and go to a 4-down. We want to be in a 4-down and go to a 3-down. And ultimately what happened, a lot of guys were jumping off sides when we moved, and that's a tackle for a loss in my mind. And so for us, it was a situation where he confused the offense. We stemmed the front. We went from 3-down to 4-down. First play of the Florida game, they jumped. And you say, well, this was a pain in the ass for me. I'm going to be honest with you, because what happened was in practice, scout team jumps, offensive line jumps, and you're like, I get frustrated because I want practice to be efficient. I want to go. Well, it worked in our games because our guys got good at being able to shift from 3-down to 4-down.
So this new rule is pre-snap movement. Any defensive team player within 1 yard of the line of scrimmage, stationary or not, cannot make a quick or an abrupt or exaggerated action to simulate the action of a snap. And this will be a point of emphasis. And offenses will now be held to the same standard. Any pre-snap movement that can simulate the action of a snap will be a foul on offense as a false start as well. So be real smooth going into your motions.
Yeah, and this isn't to say that you can't like walk up to the line and then walk back out. It's really more of a synchronized motion, right? And it, as far as I know, like there's always been a rule like you can't like clap or anything like that, or try to call out a snap count from the defensive line to try to get an offense to jump. This is just adding to it. I still don't like this because like it's part of football. I don't think it, and you don't see it enough. You don't
of football. What football is like? It's not the
You don't-
defensive responsibility.
Yeah,
So-
like the defense already has so many rules against them that like the defense is always gonna be penalized more than the offense because of offsides or hit, unnecessary roughness, late hit on the quarterback, yada yada yada. Those are always, you can't get those on offense. Targeting, like you're not getting those. The only false start and I mean ineligible man downfield. Really, that's all you should be getting on offense. So I don't like this rule. I think if you're good at that, like Kirby Smart in Georgia is, almost as good at it as they are, driving 100 miles an hour. It's part of the game. You got to be more aware as an offensive lineman. So.
Yeah, I mean, my thing with this is that the offense knows to play and knows the cadence, right? They know when the play is actually starting. The defense can't be held responsible for the offensive player jumping off sides. They know the cadence. They know the play. If the defense is doing something to try to get you off your rockers, that's on you, right?
Yeah.
Like you should be held accountable for that. So I think that's taking something away from the defense that to me should always be a part of the game. So I don't like that. Also, and then from the offensive standpoint, I'm not really like they have to be stonewalled. Like I don't understand what that means. If they move slightly at all, it's going to be a false start. So,
Basically, you can't make an action that simulates a snap, like you starting the play. So a wide receiver couldn't, for instance, shuffle their feet at the line of scrimmage out of nowhere, like because then it would look like starting your route.
Isn't that a false start, anyways? If they're up on the line,
if they're on the line, yeah, but if they're off,
okay,
no, because that's actually how some teams get around the non-CFL can't go towards the line of scrimmage. They'll motion out and then shuffle their feet in place to keep momentum,
right?
Instead of going forward.
Yeah, I don't know. That doesn't bother me as much, but like, so are they just making sure that everybody comes set?
Basically, I mean, you can still have one person in motion on offense,
Right?
But yeah, everybody else, you need to be still.
I don't think that this is gonna. I think it's gonna be a big deal the first couple weeks. I think they're gonna make it a big deal, and then they're gonna start putting the flags away because they're gonna probably have a lot of penalties for this, and then people are not gonna be happy, and they're gonna put the flags in their pocket for this call. Now, if it's egregious,
yeah,
then maybe, but like I think it's gonna be like okay. But really, it's more so like you can't have a synchronized movement along the line to like simulate the play being snapped. I don't know.
Yeah, and I just want to say, as a Florida fan, Georgia got us 5 times for a false start in that one game by stemming the front. That's why, for me, as a former center offensive lineman, yeah, stop. Sit still.
But you know the cadence, Josh. You know when the play is being snapped. It doesn't matter what the defense is doing. You know the play.
My first start as center, yes, I knew the cadence, and I thought that I heard the cadence. So I snapped the ball and start the play. I'm the only one moving around. Instead of it being a fumble, they called it a penalty. It was now 1st and 15 for illegal snap infraction. Hey, can we just all go silent? Can the fans shut up too? The offense is at work here.
Well, those Florida plays, that was at home. They should have been a little quieter on offense.
That is true.
Georgia getting y'all 5 times. That's a Florida problem.
This is at home, like.
Well, I mean, it's not really at home. It's the Florida Georgia game.
Jacksonville.
Yeah, it's Jacksonville.
Yeah,
that's
true.
Yeah.
It's 50-50.
Yeah.
The world's largest cocktail party.
Trying to think, like, goes back to John Gruden hating the clap snap count. He hates that. If you've ever watched any of his videos, all these guys talking about, here's my snap count. He hates it. Anyways, are we doing more of these next week? There's a couple that I.
Yeah. We'll save them for next week.
The one about like not engaging with the long snapper or on a field goal or point after for at least a second. Like, what am I supposed to stand back here and count 1 Mississippi and then I can engage?
That's basically exactly what you're saying.
So
yeah.
All right. Anything else? Did I miss anything? I know.
We got some gambling corner, right?
We got some gambling corner.
Oh, we do. It's week 0.
Gambling corner of the season, baby.
Do we still have the numbers on how everybody did last year?
Not readily available.
Gotcha. I feel like I did pretty well outright. I think Artie was good against the spread, and I think we were all pretty good over under.
Yeah, it was basically like that. Yeah.
And I think over the whole year, I think we were up pretty good. So figure out who you want to tell and who you want to fade this year and stick with it. Let us know how you do. All right, what we got?
All right, we got Iowa State on the road visiting Kansas State. Kansas State is a 3-point favorite. The over-under is 49.5.
And you say on the road. This isn't just on the road in Little Manhattan. This is on the road in Dublin, Ireland.
Yeah, I forgot. Sorry. They're both on the road. Well, no, because I saw that post. I think it was Kansas State where they loaded up the truck and said, we're driving to Ireland. And I was like, okay, Ireland must be like a small town. I didn't put it together. I'm not following this game. I'm not watching this game. This is trash football. This is trash football. The worst way to kick off a season.
I mean, yeah, the week 0 slate this year is honestly kind of shit.
Yeah.
The best hot take here, the best game that weekend, Stanford, Hawaii.
We were talking about that before the show.
Yeah.
I wasn't on for that conversation, so that's just my take. Stanford, Hawaii. That's gonna be a good game.
Yeah,
all right.
In Hawaii. I don't know, man. I think Kansas State, Iowa State's gonna be a good game.
It'll be interesting, but like
one of those two teams could win the Big 12, be in the playoff. One of those two teams is going to be a playoff team.
Yeah, but I can make a case for about every single team in the Big 12 to win the Big 12.
That's true. You're absolutely right. You're 1,000% correct on that.
Including the ghost of Scott Frost and the ghost of Rich Rod.
All right. What we got? Iowa State at
Iowa
pseudo
State.
Kansas State. Is it in Dublin?
Yeah.
Mm.
Who we got, fellas?
I'm just purely picking all of these on vibes this week. So let me know how my vibes do. Iowa State's +3, over-unders 49.5. Plus 130, Iowa State. Minus 155, Kansas State. I look at a spread of 3 this early in the season as basically just being a push. My vibes are with Iowa State. I'm gonna roll with the Cyclones. And nobody plays defense in the Big 12, so give me the over.
I concur.
Artie?
I'm going to go Iowa State. Was it 49.5 over under?
Yep.
Yeah. Give me the over. I think it's going to be some fireworks in this game. I'm going to go Iowa State. So and I hope Chase Sowell has a good game as well. I'm rooting for the kid.
Yeah, I mean, good luck.
Good luck, bud. Next game, Idaho State at UNLV. This game's gonna be a snooze fest. Dan Mullen back in the coaching ranks, 24.5-point favorite in his opening game with an over/under of 64.5. I'm gonna go ahead and take UNLV to cover the spread, but under. Gonna go with the under.
Yeah.
Artie?
UNLV had a chance to make the playoff last year. Legitimate. They had a legit chance to go to the playoff last year. I think they're going to be good. And yeah, give me UNLV. I'm going to take the over. I think they score like 40 points in this game. I'm taking the over.
I'm just going to say, well, for one, I don't give a shit. I'm taking UNLV. To Artie's point about UNLV being good last year, lost quite a bit. Pump the brakes on them being good this year. I think they take a major step back.
I didn't say they're going to be a playoff team this year.
No, but I don't like. We were talking about them being in contention for the Mountain West last year and possibly making the playoff. I don't see that this year.
Third game of the day, Fresno State visits Kansas. Kansas is a 12.5-point favorite to open this up. So similar to ECU, NC State. Keep that in mind, folks. And the over-under is 50.5. Does anyone know who Fresno State's head coach is?
No.
I feel like I should. Give me a second. I might get it. I probably won't. Who is it?
Matt Entz
Yeah,
from North Dakota State.
I would have never got that.
Yeah, I got that. But
Well, he was at USC for you.
Some natties, so
Yeah.
Once again, I don't know enough about these programs right now. I am going to take Kansas I don't know that I'm taking the points, but I'm going to take them to win. Because they have that newly renovated
stadium.
So like, I'm sure it's gonna be popping. Yeah, and then on the over under, fuck it, give me the over.
Yeah, I don't know. Fresno State's one of those sneaky programs. It's like abnormally good every now and then. They'll be in the top 25. They'll creep. I don't know what their program looks like right now going into this season. Kansas is also one of those programs that's just weird. They win 5 straight games. They lose 5 straight games. I just don't understand Kansas. I do know they have a 5 or 6 year returning quarterback. That quarterback's been there forever. So I'm going to take Kansas. I'm going to take them at home. And give me the over on that.
I think that this Fresno State team is going to be a defensive reincarnation of the Kalen DeBoer era at Fresno State. Matt Entz has a pedigree to him that is unmatched by most FBS head coaches. They're not going to win the game. I have them covering, making it close, and I have the under for this one. I don't think that they're going to let Kansas run away with this. Next game on the docket, 7:00 p.m. Sam Houston State, who has nothing left in the cupboard, against Western Kentucky, who also has nothing left in the cupboard.
These are like, if you looked at these two teams last year, the entire makeup is completely different.
Everything's different. Western Kentucky, because they're at home, is a 10-point favorite. The over-under is, again, 60.5, up in the 60s still here. I'm going to go with Sam Houston State to cover and the over. Chaos.
All right, so you said WKU to win, Sam Houston to cover?
Yeah.
And the over. I don't hate that play. I don't hate it. Yeah, I'll follow that. Sam Houston to cover, over. Conference USA is just weird, man. So,
well, look, somebody's got to pick Sam Houston, and I don't care about either. Give me Sam Houston, but give me the under.
You can't spell chaos without the C, S, and A, and Conference USA brings all three.
That's true.
And just like that analogy, it's all lost. It's all lost. And then for the nightcap, really the midday cap if you're at the game. So if you're lucky enough to be at the game, this is going to be a beautiful midday game. 7:30 p.m. on the East Coast. Stanford makes the trip west from Stanford to Hawaii. Hawaii is a 2.5-point favorite. Had to check. They are the favorite, 2.5 points. At home with the over-under of 51.5. Who wants to take first shot at this one?
Real quick. I'm looking at the forecast for Honolulu, Hawaii on Saturday.
Forecast.
Will it rain?
2:00. No. There's not a chance of rain for the next 15 days in Honolulu. It's beautiful. Artie, I'm going to ask you, take a guess. What is the temperature going to be at kickoff in Honolulu, Hawaii?
Honolulu, Hawaii. August 23rd. Let's say
at 2 p.m. local time.
I mean, it's going to be in between, I don't know, 82, 88 degrees. I'm going to say like 86.
Josh.
He said 86. I'm gonna go Price is Right rules 80.
Price is Right rules. Josh would have won. Artie would have been closer. 84. Just a beautiful day.
84.
84.
No, that's not football weather, though. Them boys going to be hot.
with 64% humidity.
That is not football weather.
But don't get me wrong. If they were like, hey, ECU's going to play at Hawaii, it's going to be 85 degrees and sunny, sign me up.
Oh, as a fan, of course. If I'm just going there to watch the game, absolutely.
I really like Hawaii this year in the Mountain West. Stanford is easily one of the bottom 3 teams in the ACC.
Mm-hmm.
Give me Hawaii to cover. And fuck it, give me the over.
Yeah, I don't know much about either one of these teams, but I was telling Josh before the show. I really like when Hawaii's a good football program. I think that's good for college football, and one of those type of programs is really good. So I don't know if they're ever going to get to that, but give me Hawaii. Give me the Rainbow Warriors at home over Stanford, and give me the over.
I'm going to have to side with my uncle, who is a Stanford grad, and go with the Stanford Cardinal on this one to pull off the upset, win their first game with Andrew Luck and Frank Wright at the helm, and hit the under, because we're getting back to ground and pound, and the clock's going to run. And so will the Stanford Cardinal.
The trees.
And that's all we got for this week.
Real quick. Did y'all know that if you're a recruit looking at Hawaii, you can't take they won't let you take an official visit until you commit?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes, because they have to get you out there most times.
Yeah.
Or they have to at least help.
That's expensive. I can see that. Yeah.
Instead of doing like just getting a free family trip, everybody would take a visit to. Maybe they should Maybe they should be like, if you're a 5-star above, like you can come visit.
Yeah, I would say I would definitely reserve it for the 5 stars want to be out there. But then again, no 5 stars want to go.
I don't know. You get them in Hawaii. You get enough of them in Hawaii at the same time, and they're like, man, we could do something special here in Hawaii and live like Hawaiians. Sign me up. Who cares that we're going to be playing at 2 a.m. local time back home most nights?
Right.
Sign me up. All right. Walk the plank. Anybody got one? I feel like I had one, but anybody? I had one like in my mind. Oh, it's
I can't think of one.
Damn it, boy.
It'll hit me 30 minutes after we hang up. I'll put it in the group chat whenever I think of it. Did you see? It's not even really a walk the plank. The woman on ESPN.
That got the. She thought the Barry Sanders jersey was a Shedeur Sanders jersey. Now that's a low. I'm sorry. That's just inexcusable. That's just inexcusable.
My favorite, like the memes that I was seeing, like not even really memes. It was just like, how could she disrespect Bernie Sanders like that? Or how could she not know that this was talking about so and so? I loved all of those memes.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to look at examples to how would I defend this for Monica, and there's just no way to defend that. Like I mean, come on, you work on a sports network, and I know she's just a WNBA like reporter, and she does NBA as well. But like, as soon as you see Sanders Detroit Lions jersey, like you gotta know that. You gotta just a casual person off the street in Kansas should know that. Like I don't know.
I don't know. That wasn't like the main one that I was thinking of, but like that is one that I thought of. I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
Like, which also, quick side note, Drewski was apparently at Still Life last night.
Drewski was at Still Life
2 nights ago. Yes.
2 nights ago.
Yes. Shout out my fraternity brother AK for being in the building at all times when there's a celebrity.
That's awesome. That we only got riffraff when we were in school.
What was it? Didn't Wiz Khalifa get arrested in Greenville?
I think that happened too. Yeah, I think that did happen.
Morgan Wallen tells a story about his one of his first times ever playing a live show was in Greenville, North Carolina, and it was at one of the bars. He doesn't say which one, but it was at one of the bars, and he was like really excited. He had heard a lot of things about ECU, and he got there, and like they were doing sound check, and like nobody was like the bartenders and everybody was like kind of complaining that they were working, and he was like, "What's going on?" And they were like, "Oh, by the way, it's rush week for sororities and fraternities, so it's dry. So it's like none of the Greek life is out drinking this week."
Which is the worst time to do a concert.
And he was like, "It was the worst show I've ever performed in my life." Greenville, North Carolina. I think that's on one of his interviews with Theo Vaughn.
That's funny
that he talks about that. One of my favorite clips. All right, that's all I got. Other than quick shout out to ECU women's soccer, at least getting the draw last night against Coach Gary Higgins and his return back to East Carolina University after taking the job at NC State. Thought we were going to get them. Those final 10 minutes were intense. So a lot to look forward to for ECU women's soccer this year. Other than that, make sure you follow us on social media at Boneyard Podcast. We will be dropping our top 10 plays throughout the next 9 days. I guess we dropped number 10 today. Shout out Josh. We're going to be doing this up until game day. So make sure you're following along with those. Subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast. Apple, Spotify, Amazon. I don't care. Subscribe. Leave us a 5-star review. Artie, if they don't,
walk the damn plank.
Damn right. Also subscribe to YouTube. Hit that notification bell. Get notified every time we go live. And then, last thing I got to say, like I said at the top of the show, shop Roback, Boneyard 20% off your first order. Get yourself some nice, and they don't just have men's clothing. They have women's clothing. They got it all, man. Get whatever you need. They got hats, shirts, joggers. It's comfortable. And I always get compliments on it. So Boneyard 20, get you some new ECU gear, get you some other stuff. That's all I got. Artie, let's get out of here. Next week, we're going to talk about ECU versus NC State.
We're live next week. We are back full form, final form. Pirate Nation, until next week, we love y'all. Wash your hands, wash your butts. Deuce.
Go damn Pirates.